Hello everyone, and today we're gonna do a little bit of an unboxing and review of the Medicom toy Dragon Ball Z. So this one features Goku, right? And I believe this was, this is now a kind of like a almost kind of like a vintage action figure. I believe this was released um, 2008 in the summer. Must have been, oh, takes me back probably maybe summer of like 2008. um, so quite a while back. And I've had this figure for a while. um, when it was released, I think there were, I think it might have been three or four figures. I remember there was a Super Saiyan version of Goku, and then there's also Piccolo, which unfortunately I wasn't able to get. And then I believe there also was a Gohan, like the boy, the young Gohan, and because they were selling the alternate head sculpt um, with the exclusive, I believe. If I remember, and forgive me if this is inaccurate because it's been a while, and I think it was being sold with a Piccolo one. But this was like, oh, yeah, I've acquired this at least like 15 years. So it's showing some age, right? And there's a lot of like yellowing here in the box. I mean, I didn't expose it to sunlight by any means, but it's just like, when you have something just even if it's like stored properly, there's, I don't know, there's a little bit of like a graining here of like the box. So essentially it says here again like a real action hero. So RAH is usually how they 2008. Yeah, there you go. 2008. Yeah, I don't know what 12 is because I can't read. um, but essentially, yeah, that's the artwork of the box, and then you have the staff name. Um, Essentially, let's open it up. I mean, I've opened this before. I've displayed this. This was actually one of those ones that one of the first acquisitions that I've had because I've started collecting 1/6 scale stuff in around 2008. Really, like maybe 2007, 2008. We've been doing that for a while now, and you know, I think the thing with Medicom toys that's worth mentioning is that they really make good anime stuff. Like very cartoon accurate. Is oops, something fell. I think the stand fell. They really make good anime accurate heads. Um, I think especially they've always been, I think, kind of like the plus and minuses with Medicom stuff is that, and I think some of the quality improvements have been done through the years, but I think especially the early Medicom stuff, there have been like complaints about the the quality of the body that they have because it was a little bit brittle, right? And this one I really didn't have any problems with it. So another thing too with Medicom is that they don't really give you a lot of accessories. So Goku out of the box would just be like Goku. There's no alternate head sculpt. There's him in his gi. The turtle. I think this means turtle. Um, if I remembered correctly. And then he has the belt, of course, that's being attached by Velcro. Now, this one also has a wire attached to it, so it's like you could simulate it like being blown in the wind, kind of. The belt is posable. I don't think there's anything else on the fabric that has a wire on it. So these armbands are also made of cloth. Feels like cotton. Same with everything, really, the material. This one is, of course, made of plastic. His boots. And I believe, yeah, that's on a peg. So that's removable. But really, there's no alternate foot attachments. So this is just one solid, I guess, one solid piece. So you can't have him like his foot like being tiptoed or anything like that. Um, so right now I have him closed fists, but you have like alternate hands. Um, I guess this is like the Kaioken hand, as I call it. You know, because you could always pose him as kind of like doing the Kaioken, and you have two of those. You have two hands for the Kaioken. And this is the Kamehameha hand. Let's use a hook to get that out. Oops, it's snagging. Right? So you can do him like charging with the other two. And again, these are like mirror image hands. And also this one is, I guess you could do like the combination of, because like I said, they are like mirror image hands. Oh yeah, I was right. So there is also a brochure that came with it. Never opened it. Oh, I guess it is opened, but don't remember this. It's like folded, jammed in here, but essentially it says that there's also, I guess, there's another available version, which is the Super Saiyan one. I don't know what this is. Must be some sort of like an ordering sheet. Still hasn't been opened. I never bothered to open some of these ones. I think those are like the instructional pamphlets. But basically, that's it really for Goku. Like, I guess like if you also kind of want to pose him, sort of, like I've seen some photos where they've removed the clothing, right, just to show his like immense biceps here. And what's interesting here, these are like the early Medicom stuff. You could see there's already kind of like a whiting in terms of the rubber, right? And for 15 years, I think it's held up for whatever it's worth. But I don't think this will, like some of the plastics will eventually degrade, especially a lot of with the rubbering of the early Medicom stuff. And I'm surprised that they even bothered to rubberize this. I guess it's also for the articulation. Like, see, there's a joint here, so the shoulders actually rotate, and it's quite impressive, really, because this is like a double jointed one, and it goes like all the way back, right? And there's a little bit of like a plastic discoloration there, and I think that's just from age, right? And what can you expect from like a 15-plus-year-old action figure? But yeah, like I said, I was mentioning, I've seen some poses. So this is part of his shirt. I've seen some poses of people just taking off like this, either the top gi or even the blue one, and he is like beefed up, right? Like he's like these are like going all the way, like biceps Goku, just like in the anime. Like I said, there's already a little bit of like a cracking of the plastic here. Because that also, I think, yeah. So this is on a joint. Like there's a mold, like there's a rubber mold, but I believe there's like a plastic skeleton in. But you can already see there's the age would degrade this, and eventually with rubber, sort of like bodies, and I guess that goes for like the Phison stuff, for anything that's rubberized eventually will degrade in time. And of course, he has this. I don't know what they. There's a Japanese term for this, what they call like the strands of hair, and they seem kind of brittle, right? So obviously, you can pose this, but it's not really for kids. Um, but yeah, I mean, the articulation on this is fantastic, though. Like, look at that. Like, these are like double jointed knees, and it goes all the way. Like the posability of these Medicom toys is just unreal. Like, you can pose them pretty much kind of like almost like Dragon Ball combat, esque poses that you want to do. Again, like I said, this is um, for a martial arts, I guess. Yeah, I mean, um, what do they call that shows? Is it shonen? Um, Shows. Yeah, you really have to have like an articulated anime figure, and this, of course, fits the bill, right? I mean, considering that this figure was released back in 2008, and it's already like 2023 as the time that I'm recording this. That's a lot. It's back in the day, I think the quality of the 1/6 scale materials, because I remember being limited in terms of like the 1/6 scale stuff. You know, this is not so bad. It was a fantastic toy, but now there are other third-party toys that already came with other stuff, and I know that you can also acquire like the generic head for Goku. There's a Super Saiyan, and I think there's also a Vegeta one. I just forgot what the third party name is, but they've done gimmicks as well. I think some of like the hair lights up or something like that. I might be wrong, but like I said, it's this is almost kind of like a vintage figure at this point, and I'm quite happy that I got him back in the day. Um, like, again, like the complaint is, of course, like the eventually the rubber portion of the of Goku's body will degrade, and um, that's just part of it, I think, as a 1/6 scale, especially some of the early stuff. um, but I'm glad that I got this toy, and just posting it here. um, and yeah, I think that's it for me, and hope to have a good day.